I want you to know that I believe in you, and I'm sorry that life stole your joy. I'm sorry that pain stole your love. I'm sorry that struggle stole your passion. I'm sorry you feel like you're not the protector that God called you to be. But I want you to know that you're not alone. I haven't always had the answers. I haven't always been successful. I've only found them because I failed so many times. I failed at healing. I failed at seeking help. So stop feeling like you have to have it all the way together. So let my childhood trauma shake me in my adulthood. It followed me into my adulthood, and I got a lot wrong when it came to money. I got a lot wrong when it came to women. And that's just the truth. I went marriage to marriage, divorced, with homes without me in it. After my healing, God saw fit, y'all, for me to remarry. God saw fit for me to have this beautiful family with my wife. We are a family of 10. We've got 8 children together. Beautiful family, beautiful blended family. And life is good right now, y'all. I'm on here telling you about success every day because at one point, life took everything from me except for my last breath. I've had nothing too many times than I want to remember. But with that last breath, guess what? I kept breathing. With that, I started walking again. With that, I started rebuilding my life brick by brick. My grandfather was a mason, y'all. Anytime I would shake his hand or he would rub my head, I would just envision what he was doing with his hands. He was building homes. He was building foundations. And so I went to work, y'all, and I went to rebuilding my life brick by brick. And I'm not finished yet, but I can at least offer you what worked for me. I can at least offer you what led me to success so you can get there quicker than I did, with less pain, with less struggle, with hope, and with promise. Step 1, y'all, it starts with the first thing, which is knowing that we're made in God's image. And with that, we can't find purpose until we discover God, because we're made in His image. So you can't find your purpose until you got Him. So that's the first one, is your faith. If you're not connected to God, you're not going to be connected to purpose. You're going to walk around lost. You're going to walk around confused. You're going to walk around not knowing what to do because you're not connected to God. So that's the first step, y'all. That's what I had to find. I had to find God first. And then the second step is you got to work on your character every single day. It is so critical to build yourself up. It is so critical to build yourself up. And I promise you, as you work on your own character, as you work on your own self-development, as you work on your own emotional awareness, the opportunities to build your skills, the opportunities and doors are going to flow. They're going to open. They're going to come. But first, you got to work on this, y'all. You got to work on this. And then, although we don't want to keep revisiting the pain, never forget the lessons that you learned in that pain. Never forget the lessons you learned in that struggle, because those are going to be the most critical things that you're able to apply in the future. You got to rely on some experience. You got to understand some boundaries, some no's, some why this doesn't work or this won't work and why this will work. You got to be able to apply that. But you got to be able to draw from those lessons learned. So those are 3 things, y'all. Those are 3 things that will help you get started today with discovering your purpose. Those are 3 things that are going to help you get to a point where you're able to find some success a little earlier than I did. I went through life. There was a point in time where I was out of church. I was disconnected from my faith, y'all. And I was just hurting. I was going through so much post-traumatic stress. So much that I was dealing with from my childhood, from my military life, that it was just tearing me apart. I saw psychiatrists, clinical psychiatrists, behavioral psychologists, you name it. Like, I was just seeing everybody like, look, I need some help. Somebody help me, because I was struggling. I didn't know where to go. I tried different medications. Things just were not working for me until I sat in Mr. Nash's office. He was a coach, and this is why I fell in love with coaching originally. He was a coach. I didn't know what that was, but I was like, you know what? I've tried everything. Nothing's working for me. I'm still feeling the struggle. I'm still feeling the pain. And with that, I began to refine my spirituality and my connection with God. With that, I began to discover who I was. With that, I began to be able to put steps in place. And He held me accountable to those steps to make progress towards my goals, to put one foot in front of the next. And eventually, I got to that point where I was jogging. Eventually, I got to that point where I was sprinting. Eventually, I got to that point where I had consistent success over time, again and again and again. But it took work. And it took me sitting in that chair with my coach, Mr. Nash. And as I sat there broken. He asked me one question, y'all. He asked me one question about what was holding me back. And with that one question, I melted in my chair. I melted right there and I began to cry, and it was just falling. Tears were falling all over my shirt. And it was uncontrollable because there were so many things that were broken at the time, and I just didn't know where to start when it came to healing. But he was able to help guide me in the direction to start rebuilding my life, to start taking priorities and balancing them with the things that I desired. Like, they were just so rich. And so sometimes you just got to find where to start. But that's a little bit about where I started. I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a blessed one. But now you've got a starting point. Now you've got no more excuse. Now you have a direction to go. First, you got to start with God. And then you've got to develop your character. And then you got to remember those lessons learned. And you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You can rely on family. You can rely on friends. You can rely on professionals. Find a therapist, y'all. Find a teacher. Find a mentor. Find a coach. Find somebody who can help you through this, but you don't have to do it alone. I love y'all. Have a blessed one. We're going to continue getting after this thing. But now you got a little bit more about me. Now you understand a little clearly why I'm here every day, pouring out my heart to you all, pouring out my passion to you all, because I want so much more for you. I want you to go through a little less struggle. I want you to go through a little less pain. I want you to know that you are the protector that God calls you to be, that you are great. There's greatness attached to your life. And I want you to get, you're sprinting through life trying to find purpose and realizing there's no fulfillment or gratification in life. But the reality is that without God, there's no purpose. We're made in his image, so you first got to find God before you can find anything that's going to fulfill you or gratify you in life. So stop chasing meaningless things. Stop chasing things that you were never meant to do in the first place. Stop doing that and get back to God first. And once you get back to God, once you find out who you are in him, once you find out who he is to you, then guess what? Then you will find purpose, because he'll help discover that. He'll help unveil that. He'll help show that to you. But first, you got to find him before you find anything else in life. And that's where everyone's messing up from the beginning. Step one, find God. And then he will show you who he is through you. His miracles will work through you. But first, you got to find him. Start there with purpose, y'all. And then once you start there, everything in life will begin to connect. Then you'll find that there is gratification. Then you will find that there is fulfillment in the things that you're doing. And with that, as you develop your skills, as you develop the things that God wants you to develop in life, it is going to attract the resource that you need in order to do that thing. And so you worried about money, you worried about that job, you worried about all these other things in life. But if you just start with God, then everything else can start to work itself out, and he can help guide you to who you are, because we're made in his image. And as we're made in his image, those skills will begin to flow. Listen, I know this message mainly resonates with men because men, we are naturally protectors. God has called us to be protectors from the very beginning. But I'm also talking about purpose in this message. So it's for everybody. So I don't care if you're 18, 25, 40, 50, 60 years old, no matter where you're at in life, this message is for you. God is calling you. And if you don't feel like this message is for you, but you know someone in your life that could utilize this, share it, y'all. Hit that subscribe, hit that follow, and share this message. Get the word out, because God is pouring this passion out of me. I've been through my own trials. I've been through this journey, and I'm telling you, I'm giving you things that I've seen work over and over again. And so these nuggets, I'm telling you, as I give these things to you, I'm giving it to you because God is telling me to share this with you. It's tough being vulnerable. It's tough. being this vulnerable. It is. But when I remove myself from it and I say, okay, God, what is it that you want me to do? Because I also have a heart for those that are suffering from depression. Also have a heart for those that are suffering from sadness. Some of those that are suffering from suicidal ideations. I've got a heart for all of y'all. And so as I have a heart for all y'all, I realize that I have to be vulnerable. I have to be open. I have to be able to talk about the things that have challenged me over the years, because I want to be able to reach you. And so share this message with a loved one. Share this message with someone who needs it. Hit that subscribe. Keep coming back. Hit that follow and keep coming back. I love y'all, and I'm here now, and I'm going to continue to be here as long as God put breath in my body. I'm going to continue to inspire. I'm going to continue to pour out passion. I'm going to continue to love on y'all. I'm going to continue to give you these nuggets of success. Listen, y'all, everything that you get from me is going to be God inspired. So if you see my content rolling across the screen, you already know what you're going to get. And it's because without God, nothing's possible. With God, everything is possible. And when you look at purpose, when it's tied to your life, it's always tied to God first, because we're made in his image. Noah didn't have purpose until he had God first. Abraham had God before he had purpose. David had God before he had purpose. Samson had God before he had purpose. Gideon had God before he had purpose. And so that's the common theme in life, y'all. Find God and you'll find purpose. I love y'all.